Good morning, everyone. I'm Lauren Conlin with Los Angeles Magazine. This is our first live stream, so I'm very excited. And it is Monday, November 17th. It's freezing in New York City, but we're gonna go to Miami this morning for the arraignment of Antonio Brown. And his arraignment is scheduled for 9 a.m. Eastern, which is in 2 minutes, but I am not certain if what's going to happen is, I have a Zoom link, so I'm going to log on in a second. And usually, I was told that the judge takes the arraignments first because it's not just Antonio Brown, having his court appearance. There's a bunch of them, so we might have to just sort of wait and see if there's any other arraignments before his, and then we'll get to his. So don't worry, we'll still have fun. We'll still chat if there are other arraignments before Antonio Brown. So I'm going to log on to the Zoom right now, and then I'm going to share it once I get it up. So let me just check to make sure everything's working properly on YouTube, since, again, this is the first time that we've done this. So if you're here, I'm super excited that you're here, super excited that we're doing a live stream, because I love doing live streams. I could talk to myself all day. Yes, everything's great. Okay, so let's log in right now. I have the code. Hopefully everything goes according to plan. All right. I definitely do not want to be on camera for this. It gives me the option. That's so awkward. I'm going to turn off my audio and video to join. My gosh. Okay. All right. While I'm waiting. Yeah, so Antonio Brown, he is being charged with second-degree attempted red rum. We're going to call it red rum just for the algorithm here. And let's not forget, second-degree attempted red rum with a firearm. And the fact that he allegedly used a firearm, that makes the stakes a lot higher. Okay, hold on. Okay, I said hold on to nobody. Hold on, I'm gonna share this. I got it. Let's present this. I'm gonna share my screen. Here we go. Share the screen. I see Antonio's lawyer, so this is good.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Judge. Thanks for starting again early this week. Want to take arraignments first? Start with Antonio Brown.
Oh, I'm trying to.
Stephanie Cruz on behalf of the state on case F2512.
Share my screen. How do I do this?
Was filed an information charging attempted second-degree murder, a felony in the first degree.
I'm tired. There we go. Here we go.
Are around 48 months state prison to 30 years state prison with a 20-year minimum mandatory.
All right, and for Mr. Brown.
Good morning, Your Honor. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, Mr. Arbus.
Mark Eiglarch on his behalf. Mr. Brown is present on Zoom. We have filed pleadings in this case. There he is. We have filed pleadings in this case, Your Honor. We've entered a not guilty plea, demanded trial by jury, requested all of the evidence pursuant to Rule 3.220, and we would be waiving reading of the charging document at this time.
Right, that's fine. Appearance, discovery, you'll be on it?
Yes, Judge.
I am going to be actually transferring this case to Division 62. Okay?
Yes, Judge.
Transfer.
Which is my division, and we'll take it from start to finish.
Fantastic. Looking forward to working with you.
You too, sir. We're going to go ahead. How about if I give you a report and status date in, let's try 30 days. Are you going to, or 35 days? Let me see where we are. I'm just going to
Status date. I'm taking notes. Sorry.
We can just have a general discussion about how we're going to move discovery and filing notices, and keeping everything on track.
Yes, Judge.
Let's see. So, don't know if this is gonna work all, because it's the week of, it's a holiday week, but the 22nd of December. 22nd of December, is that something that would work?
Your Honor, I'm standing in for ASA Rivera, who is ASA 1 on the case. I can reach out to her, and if you want to pass the case, if not, I can also readdress it with
Just let me know.
before that date.
Make sure there's 5% copies of everything.
Of course.
And counsel, will that date work for you?
Yes, Your Honor, the 22nd definitely works for
December
me.
22nd.
All right, again, it is a holiday week, so I wanted to check if you all see that.
I'll speak to the prosecutor too. If for some reason it doesn't work for her, we can come up with another date and propose it to Your Honor.
Excellent, okay, 12/22 will be for status, report, and we'll start to get organized.
Judge, I'm not sure if my client's going to want to appear. I just want to know if his appearance could be waived if we file a waiver.
Oh, yes. You as, filed your notice of appearance. Your client does not have to be present, certainly can
All
be
right.
present. Again, these status report dates is nothing of substance.
Great.
Really, it's more scheduling and discovery conversations. And, in the next couple of months, we'll talk about how and when you all want to set the case for trial.
Sounds good. Judge, thank you so much. We're grateful.
All right, and that'll be at 9 o'clock. Thank you very much, everyone.
We'll see you then.
Very
Fantastic.
good, thank you. All right, Jose Consuelo.
Okay, that was it. That was very uneventful, but basically, I don't know if you heard that. The minimum sentence that he's facing is 20 years. I literally brought up the Zoom right as the prosecutor was speaking. I was fumbling because I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize he was going to be actually first at 9 a.m. Also, very impressed that court was even on time. This judge is very timely. It's 9:04 and his arraignment is finished. So I know it's crazy, Dizzy. So I'm actually going to email, sorry, and my whole household is sick. My son is in the next room with a fever. It's very fun in this house right now. But I'm going to email the attorney that you just saw, Mark Eiglarsh, and just see if he has any type of statement, even though there's nothing really to say, I guess, at this point. So the discovery, et cetera, status hearing is going to be December 22nd. And he basically was like, is it cool if my client waives his appearance there, which is very normal. And the judge had no issue with it. And she said she's going to be transferring the case to Division 62. I got to figure out what that is because I have not been able to access the docket just yet, which is really weird. So I need to figure that out because right now all I have is the probable cause affidavit. And Antonio Brown's attorney, if you caught one of my more recent articles, which I spoke to his attorney exclusively, he said that's wrong. The affidavit says that Brown wrestled a gun from a security guard. And this is a big deal. This is a very different, two separate sides telling very different stories. So the affidavit says he wrestled a gun away from a security guard and then he fired it at his alleged victim, which I am not even going to attempt to pronounce his name. Morning, Derek. And Sal, thank you so much for burning the stage. Yes, my house is gross. My nose is runny. It's bad. But Antonio Brown's attorney says, no. He actually, he had his own weapon and it's a lawful weapon. It's a legal weapon. And the video footage will show you that it supports self-defense. So, yeah, Dizzy, that's what I was thinking as well, that after today, the docket would be available. So I will, you know what, while we're sitting here, I'm just going to email Mark and just be like, wow, that was quick. Anything, that was quick and uneventful. Wow, that was fast and uneventful. And I'm going to say, how is Antonio feeling? Okay. Just emailed. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I just wanted to add this. I was really excited to live stream this because when I have been in court recently for the MLB and the NBA betting scandals and, illegal poker game scandals. I mean, those arraignments have been very, very detailed. But I think because Antonio Brown has already been in court in New Jersey and then in Florida, or I'm sorry, he was in New Jersey, and that was kind of like his first, appearance where you got all the details where he was extradited from Dubai. Ooh, my girl Anastasia, good morning. Good morning. Happy to see you here. But yeah, that was super quick, super uneventful. And yes, Dizzy, it's Miami-Dade, yeah. But he was in New Jersey first because he got extradited from Dubai to New Jersey and then went to Florida. So, I mean, let's see. I just emailed his attorney to see if he has anything to share, anything about Antonio. I mean, that was kind of wild seeing him on the Zoom like that. I have to say I really enjoyed that. But you know what? Oh, you were answering Sal. Sorry. Okay. Let's pull up. I want to pull up an initial video from the news that showed some of the altercation. There's one that's like 18 seconds. That's kind of, I don't know. Yes, hit the like button. This is Los Angeles Magazine's first live stream. So we want to get the word out there. We want to get people watching and people into this because I will stream a lot more. You guys know I'm not afraid to live stream. I could talk to the wall all day. It's no problem for me. But yeah, let's get some of these fight footage up. Let me see. I know, Dizzy, I kind of missed doing these, Okay, let's try this. Oh, geez. Yeah, so you definitely heard the guy. See, I can't tell. I honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I really can't tell who's. Okay. Let's find another one here. Let's find, okay, this one.
Well, after nearly 6 months on the run, detectives have found former NFL star Antonio Brown. Brown was wanted for attempted murder after police say he shot at someone during an amateur boxing event. NBC6's Nico Clemens is live in Miami. And Nico, where exactly did police find Brown?
Well, Trina, Miami police say after months of searching, investigators found Brown in the Middle East. U.S. Marshals have brought him back to the U.S., and detectives will bring him here to Miami to face charges. This right here is the warehouse where police say Brown got into a fight and then fired those shots.
Back up, Pop! Pop, back up!
Months after police say he pulled the trigger, investigators found and arrested former NFL star Antonio Brown in Dubai. Miami police say he was wanted for attempted murder.
Pop, back up!
Detectives say in May, Brown shot at someone at a boxing event in Miami's Little Haiti neighborhood. An arrest warrant says Brown got into a fight with a man. Moments later, gunshots.
We had all these witnesses that pointed their finger at Antonio Brown.
Someone later recorded a video that appears to show him in handcuffs. However, investigators say when they searched Brown, they didn't find a gun on him or anyone who was hurt, so they let him go. Investigators say they later watched surveillance and cell phone videos, which showed Brown grabbing a gun off a security officer and going towards the man he just fought. The other man later told detectives Brown shot at him. Miami police say while Brown was on the run, he posted videos to social media.
He was kind of like taunting us, like saying, hey, I'm safe here, and that's what we interpreted from those videos. But you know what? He was laughing then. We're getting the last laugh.
Oh my goodness.
Now ends with detectives preparing to bring Brown back to Miami to face charges.
No matter who you are, what power or what money you have, if you commit a crime in the city of Miami, we're going to identify you, we're going to locate you, and we're going to bring you to justice.
So right now, Brown isn't here in South Florida. He's in New Jersey. That's where U.S. Marshals brought him. But again, detectives will bring him here. We will let you know when that happens and when he has to face those attempted murder charges.
Okay, sorry, I was gonna sneeze for a second. That was coming. So I guess I'm slightly confused by the video footage. I don't know if you guys could see it very clearly, but I've seen people say online, no, it's so obvious. It's self-defense. Maybe it is. I'm just having a hard time following that melee. That's just me. Also, I mean, law enforcement seems pretty confident. You know, you heard him say that, oh, we saw on the video footage, he wrestled this gun from a security guard. And then again, I mentioned his lawyer is like, no, it was his own lawful weapon and it was self-defense. Maybe he did wrestle a gun from a security guard, but he didn't fire it. The security guard, his name is in the affidavit. I have a feeling he's going to be a star witness in this case. But I just couldn't tell from the footage, but let me know if I'm completely crazy here. Also, if you caught my whatchamacallit, my last article or latest article that I mentioned on LA Mag. So his lawyer goes into the fact that somebody else was running Antonio Brown's social media that they have since fired. So all of the posts that you see are not always him. Because I specifically asked, I was just like, you know, he kind of posts and says things that maybe I wouldn't say if I was being charged with a crazy crime like this. And he just like, no, that's not all him. We have since fired this person. So, I mean, you know, I don't know which post they are attributing to him, but, you know, I guess we'll wait and see because I have a feeling that would come out in court. I mean, the fact that he was possibly posting about his alleged victim back in June, you know, that could go to motive, I guess. Like, hey, you know, I didn't do this, right? I'm saying I didn't do this, but I would have a reason, hence why I'm posting about this guy, because they have a history. So, and yes, totally, Anastasia. Obviously, yeah, from Karen Reed, we've learned that we can't always trust cops. And I thought that was very aggressive of that cop. I don't know about you guys, but he was very, I mean, I guess it's kind of like we're never happy as reporters because normally cops won't talk to us. He was kind of over talking and oversharing. And I'm kind of like, whoa, innocent until proven guilty. But yeah, that just proves like, we're never happy here. It's either like you talk too much or you don't talk at all and we're not satisfied. But yeah, let me also, sorry, I'm going to hide this. And yeah, so, right. AB, we know that he kind of has this erratic history, but as I pointed out the other day, in this particular case, and because it's Florida, the stakes are very, very high. So I had pointed out that per Florida law, and, you know, I thought about this too, because if you followed the Ashley Benefield trial, which was the Black Swan trial, she was convicted of red rumming her husband. Sorry. Algorithm, red rumming her husband. But she, you know, she was facing additional years in prison because of the weapon, the firearm. So again, the media, we've kind of been reporting that he is facing up to 15 years in prison. And that would have been accurate if the state wasn't alleging that a firearm was discharged. So attempted second-degree murder without the discharge of a firearm is a second-degree felony punishable by the 15 years in prison. But under Florida's 10 to 20 life statute, if someone discharges a firearm during one of these crimes, like second attempted degree murder, the charge gets elevated or reclassified from second degree felony to first degree felony. So apparently this was announced in New Jersey at his bond hearing. Obviously, I didn't see that. So yeah, this was announced there. And that means he's facing up to 30 years in prison with a 20-year minimum mandatory sentence because prosecutors are saying that the gun was discharged. So that's a big deal. I mean, that is a lot of time in prison. Yeah, so I found that to be just really interesting, and that's why I keep saying the stakes are high. Let me just see if there's anything else that I may have missed that's going around online or whatever. But I can also give you a background, I think. Let me take this. So also a background between Antonio Brown and this alleged victim. And I don't know why I'm saying alleged victim. He wasn't hurt. A bullet, or I guess basically he said a bullet grazed his neck. But of course, Antonio Brown and his lawyers are saying that never happened. But this guy and Brown, they have a history. And also, this guy, he does have a rap sheet. He was actually arrested at the Super Bowl last year. I'll try to say his name. I have a very hard time with it. Zulkarnain Kwame Nantambu. There you go. You don't want me to say that again. Believe me. You really don't want me to say that. So that guy, Nantambu, he was arrested at the Super Bowl for running across the field, and he was holding some kind of Gaza sign. And yeah, he was arrested then. And also, he basically he loaned, or there's a whole Antonio Brown they were locked in some kind of civil suit, and he was found liable for a piece of jewelry that this guy allegedly loaned him. Antonio Brown never returned it, again, allegedly. And I say that because it was reversed. The amount of money that he was on the hook for, Antonio Brown, to pay this guy for this jewelry, reversed, and he ended up not owing him anything. So they had been locked into some kind of civil suit previously that never amounted to anything. So they definitely have beef. So that, I guess, would provide motive for the prosecution to say, nope, he definitely could have done this. So yeah, I mean, I am very interested in this case. I find it to be very nuanced. I find both sides. Sorry, I feel like I'm going to sneeze again. I feel like I have a tickle right here. Sorry. Let me just take a minute. But I do. I find both sides to be, yeah, very nuanced and very sure of themselves in what they're saying. There's not any record, I guess, of violence, Dizzy, between the two of them that I have seen, but clearly there is a history here, a very, yeah, extensive history. So thanks, Anastasia. Yes, hit the like, all 7 of you, please. We'll get there, guys, right? We'll get there. I mean, what's the saying? Rome wasn't built in a day. That's so stupid. Sorry. You know, I also would like to talk Pat Bev. I was going to do the LA Mag Daily podcast on Pat Bev, and I still will do that. But this is another case where I am super just invested in. I'm super fascinated by I guess I'm fascinated by the cases that are not open and shut, where it's like there are two very obvious sides and they are saying much different things. So yeah, let me refresh Pat Bev right now in Texas. So in Texas, you also, this is kind of like Indiana, you have to FOIA request for the probable cause stuff. Or, you know, you obviously can wait to see when it's posted, but nothing was posted yet. The only thing that was posted was the affidavit, which is basically has his signature. Let's see. And Texas is Central Time, so they're behind. So I guarantee it won't be posted yet, but I bet it'll be posted today. So yes, this is the case type for Pat Bev. You know what? I'll just share it and I'll just change the Yeah, let me know. We can go back to Antonio Brown if Mark. Oh wait, Mark emailed me back. Okay. And I will put this in an article a bit later, but this is what Mark had to say about Antonio Brown. It says he feels extremely positive and is optimistic about where this case is headed. He has full confidence in me and knows that I will do all I can to make sure justice is served. Yeah, I mean, if you caught some of the Zoom, the judge seemed really nice, really fair, really easygoing. And I mean, his lawyer, Mark, was very, very polite, very, just very to the point. I like that he just kind of said it all out there. He said, you know, we request this, this, and this, and we waive the reading of the indictment because normally the judge has to ask all these questions and it takes longer. Mark is clearly a pro. He's like, I know what's coming. I am not going to waste anyone's time here. So yeah, that was good. All right, so I'll do a recap on that later for LA Mag. So you can go to the website and you can check the article. But let's you know what? Let's change this banner and let's talk about the Patrick Beverley arrest. Former NBA Patrick Beverley arrest, because this is really interesting and again very nuanced to me. But I want to go and I want to share his statement. Okay, the statement is very, very important. And Dizzy and Sal, you guys know I am obsessed with statement analysis. We love Jack Fox, right? I loved my dear friend Peter Hyatt, who I was fortunate enough to take a training course with him before he passed away. Where the hell is the statement? But they both have taught me so much, as well as Paul Maladay, who worked for Peter as well. All right, let's get this up. The Pat Beverley. Okay. Here we go. Yes, we do love Jack. So again, this is I want to make it clear. Pat Beverley, you know, this case, to my knowledge, has not gone in front of a grand jury or anything like that. He has been charged, and I will tell you exactly what he has been charged with. Assault on a family member, or household member, impeding breath or circulation. And let me see. So in Texas, this is a very specific charge. It has to be a family member or someone that lived with you in the household that you allegedly, I'm going to say choked, because that's obviously what I think of when it's impeding breathing. So Derek, this is what's going on. This is what I believe. And again, this is my opinion. My opinion, innocent until proven guilty, guys. I don't think he was necessarily protecting his sister in that moment, if I had to guess. But this is where it's confusing. Allegedly, he answered a tweet, by the way. Somebody said, how old is your sister? Or something like that. You can look at his replies on Twitter. And he said, she just turned 15. Fine. I'm willing to bet that the 18-year-old that she was caught with, sorry, I look naked when I lean over. I just realized that. Let me pull up the shirt. The 18-year-old that she was caught with, betting that he doesn't live in the house. So based on this statement, found her alone in the home, right? No one else was home. So I am assuming, speculating that he choked his sister based on the charges and based on this statement. Now, what is wild about this is that you can say to yourself, sure, he probably attacked the guy and his sister got in the way, whatever. Maybe that was the case. But right now, there's only a charge pertaining to a family member. Now, this does not mean that there won't be a second assault charge, but if he attacked the dude and it was cut and dry, this happened, he would have been charged with a separate assault charge. Now, again, this case could go before a grand jury, right? And they could say, oh, you know what? We're going to add the charge of, you know, whichever guy this was. He also assaulted this guy. That might happen. We just don't know yet. But at this very moment, based on this statement, and I'm going to break it down. And some people, I'm obviously not a professional statement deception, analysis expert, but I think I know enough that what I'm thinking is correct here. So the fact that the first thing he says is Patrick Beverly has no criminal record, and also this statement came from his attorney. Patrick Beverly has no criminal record. He cares deeply about his little sister, a young lady, a minor. Fine. So first of all, they want us to know he has no criminal history. Fine. Meaning like we should just think he didn't do anything. Caring deeply about his little sister. She's a minor. He's pointing that out, kind of saying, whatever I did, there is a reason for it, maybe. Given that, when he unexpectedly found her alone in the home with an 18-year-old man in the middle of the night, he was understandably concerned, as any brother would be about his sister. So that is crowdsourcing right there. He is trying to get everybody to say, oh, yeah, he was protecting her, and I would do the same thing as well. Hey, Derek. I'm so glad you guys are here. Again, I'm so happy that you guys are joining the first live stream ever. Please like and subscribe to this channel so you can get these alerts. But yes, so to me, when somebody crowdsources, it's not great. It's kind of like you're looking around being like, see, you guys would do the same thing. And also, in my opinion, some of the dummies fell for it, because you saw some of the comments saying, oh, yeah, I'm totally with Pat Bev on this. I would have flipped out too. Yes, of course. But it sounds like, again, not confirmed, it sounds like he flipped on his sister, right? So far. So then going down, it says, however, we don't believe what followed happened the way it's been described, and we look forward to the opportunity to address that in court. Okay? You don't believe what followed happened the way it's been described. So there is not a full denial here, right? I don't see anywhere that says, but I did not lay a hand on my sister. I did not touch her. I did not, no. They are saying what's going to come out in the probable cause affidavit is going to describe, here, I'll make myself a little bigger. I feel like, okay, sorry. It's like my big face. Yeah, I believe what's going to come out in the probable cause affidavit, which hopefully will be today, is going to be bad. It's going to be violent. And again, this is just my opinion. He is innocent until proven guilty. He's unindicted at this point as well. However, based on his statement saying, we believe what you're about to hear, it didn't go down that way. Okay, that's fine. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but he was tweeting as well this weekend about, I'm guessing football or like whatever. I don't know. I'm the worst with sports. So I'm assuming football. But let's go back to some questions that I have. And I don't know if you guys in the chat maybe know some of this stuff, but some of my questions here. So number one, when I reached out to the press officer, she let me know this altercation took place at 3:50 a.m. or basically that's when the police were called to the scene. 3:50 a.m. What? Okay, fine. So you could ask yourself, Pat Bev is just walking into his house, in the middle of the night. I don't know what was going on. Was he traveling, coming back from a flight? Was he out? I don't know. Number two, does he have custody of her? I did creep on their mother's Instagram, Lisa Beverly. Yeah. Did I say that? I don't even know if I said, yeah, 3:50 a.m. Yeah. So I don't understand, like, if he has custody of her, if their mom has custody. I'm not sure, but it just seems weird, and it does seem a little irresponsible, right? Actually, or does it? Do you stay home alone overnight at 15? I guess maybe you do. I don't know. Did I? I don't think I did at 15, but I guess it wouldn't be that weird. I'm just curious why she would be left alone to her own devices, because as a teenager, I mean, I wasn't perfect. I got into some trouble as well, but like, what do you expect, right? You're a teenager. Teenagers rebel sometimes. But it sounds like she was maybe in bed or on a couch or whatever. Maybe she fell asleep next to this guy. He walked in and that's what happened. So yeah, I'm not positive, but that's where I also have a lot of questions. So it's a weird one, and I'm really invested, because it's kind of like it's definitely not to the degree of Mark Sanchez, but it's a felony. It's a 3rd-degree felony, and it carries a prison term of 2 to 10 years and a fine. So I want to know the truth. I want the probable cause affidavit, because right now all I've had is, his statement and just what I've kind of put together from the PIO. So, we'll see. I'm here for it. And sorry, I was just looking at my emails too. Okay. Interesting. Yes, I was looking at my emails just to make sure I didn't miss anything from Antonio's lawyer. And I can show you guys. Oh, oops. I got an error on the public access. All right. Yeah, it's still not ready yet. I have a feeling that it won't be ready again until like probably this afternoon. But yeah, because Texas is what is it? An hour behind Eastern time? Yeah, I think it's an hour. So yeah, and then I don't think I'm going to be able to make this today, but this is so crazy. Then maybe I'll do a video on this for the morning daily pod. This is a crazy case out of Brooklyn, the Eastern District of Brooklyn. So let me find. Hold on, what's his name? John. He does press for. Okay, so I'll take this banner down for a minute. But out of the Eastern District of Brooklyn today, there is a plea. And again, I really was planning to go and cover, but I have a sick child in the other room. So I don't know what's going to happen there if I don't know, whatever. So this is, again, I had never heard of this. The maniac murder cult leader. Have you guys heard of this? I can't pronounce his name. It's a Russian name. When this all went down, he was extradited from Russia, but they've also called him the Commander Butcher. He's the leader of a white supremacist group called the Maniac Murder Cult, and he's charged with soliciting hate crimes. And let me see. Thanks, Anastasia. Yeah, he needs to feel better. I need him to go to school. So, and by the way, he's like in heaven. He's watching YouTube and like eating popsicles. But yeah, so he's pleading out today. I had never heard of this. This guy was so sick that he basically, there was an undercover Fed, and he was kind of acting like he was this cult leader. And he told him that he had to dress up like Santa Claus and hand out candy to Jewish kids that was poisoned with rat poison, basically, to wipe out, part of the population that he deemed not acceptable. Yeah. And there's other really, really sick stuff. I was like, wait, I'm sorry, what? And he's only 21 years old. So I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what the deal he made was, but he was extradited from Russia in May. So he's been working out this plea deal. But I mean, Dizzy, so you had heard of this guy or this case? Why did I not hear about it? I know, it's nuts. I should find the indictment. It's I was just reading about it on the Eastern District website and what the press guy said, but I was like, oh my gosh. Wait, even the UK labeled him. Yeah, it's serious. So he had all these plans, I guess, that he was going to carry out with members of his cult, but luckily it was infiltrated by undercover federal agents. Now, this is when I'm like, okay, good job, feds. And I know that sounds horrible. Sorry, horrible. But like with some of the betting stuff, I'm just like, okay, relax a little. You're very proud of yourself, but I know this is allegedly, what happened, illegal behavior. I don't feel that much safer that you're spending all this time on taking down these athletes, taking down the mob, which fine, the mob, I'll just say it. The mob doesn't red rum people anymore. Okay. They do this stuff allegedly, but yeah, I don't feel like I'm walking down the street and I'm that much safer. So I kind of wish they would just like calm down a little bit. But let me just find one more thing about the murder cult guy, because it's so crazy. ENY, there we go. So yeah, they call him the Commander Butcher. I just can't. Oh my gosh. So it says, yeah, he was staying with a relative in Brooklyn in 2022. He began using encrypted messages on different platforms like Signal, Telegram, whatever, encouraging others to commit violent hate crimes. And then he admitted to committing various hate crimes while he was in Brooklyn. And then basically an undercover Fed contacted him on Signal or, Telegram when he got word, and he claimed to be like this prospective recruit for him. And he's like, yeah, I'll do whatever. So then in 2023, he allegedly asked this employee to commit acts of mass violence, like bombings and arsons at temples and whatever. And then the whole Santa Claus thing, handing out candy laced with rat poison. Oh, and he wanted him to do it outside of Jewish schools in Brooklyn. So he also taught him how to make the poisons and where to get the certain ingredients. He put this all, horrible. He also wanted to plan an attack in New York City on New Year's Eve in 2023. Just bad stuff. This guy is, just a bad guy. So yeah, but he apparently is not getting sentenced today, but he's pleading out. So that's why I wanted to go see. And I don't know. I have this thing, like, it's so weird. I will go to court, and I've been in federal court a lot lately. And oh, Montante, I'm so happy to see you. Can you also please like and subscribe to LA Mag so you get all the alerts and you can join our live streams while there's nothing going on in the morning for shows for us? Thank you so much. Right. And Dizzy, so he pled not guilty, but now I'm just confused at what's going on. So anyway, so I was just discussing, when I am in federal court here, I feel like it's tough sometimes because I'm trying to take notes, don't have a phone. I'm trying to, focus on the defendant here. But as far as me being in court and like hearing some of these cases, I've been in the courtroom once with 4 murderers. This is in Oklahoma for the Kansas mom's case. And that was really scary. I didn't sleep for a long time. Really, I didn't. I've been in the court with Luigi Mangione, who is an alleged murderer. I didn't get the same vibes that I got in Oklahoma, where I felt like I was in the presence of pure evil. With Mangione, I felt like I was in the presence of a really troubled kid. But in Oklahoma, I was terrified. So in Brooklyn, I have yet to be in court with somebody that I have felt is just pure evil. And I feel like this guy, the maniac murder cult guy, he would be it. And that sounds messed up, right? That sounds super messed up of me to say that I want to be in court with, a murderer. And I don't. I love how I'm like, I'm not going to say that word because it's going to mess up the algorithm, but here I am saying it. So whatever. And yes, that was a really tough case, Dizzy, the Kansas mom's case. And by the way, it's not over. That case is actually, 2 of the defendants are going to trial in June. The grandma who was the alleged mastermind of that entire case, the red rum of 2 women, including the mother of her grandkids. She pled out. She will be doing LWOP, and yeah, it's horrible. So if you don't know about that case, the red rums of Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly, you should look it up. I have done multiple podcasts on that case, written about it, Pop Crime TV. That's my own personal channel. It's intense. It's one of the worst cases I have ever covered. And you can also watch an episode of Dizzy. What was that show that I'm like, I was a part of it. Crime Nation on the CW. Crime Nation on the CW. Season 2 of Crime Nation, episode 7. Go and watch that. Kansas Moms. We covered that case. And you know what? It really barely scratched the surface, but it gives you just sort of a good idea of what happened and how scary it was. Oh my gosh. So yeah. But anyway, I don't know if I'll be getting to court today because of my sick child, but let's go. And you know what else I have? Let me see if this is out yet. I also have another article coming out that I worked on yesterday about the House Oversight Committee, the release. Let's make this banner right now too, just to, yeah. The Jeffrey Epstein, it's called the email dump. Why not, right? The Jeffrey Epstein email dump. So I do have an article coming out today, and I don't want to say that it's anything new. I guess it's nothing groundbreaking, nothing new, but I find that if you have just been reading the headlines about the email dumps, they are really implicating Trump here. That seems to be the focus. And look, I can't blame anyone for doing that because of Trump's handling of the Epstein files. And I am not being political at all right now. This is just a fact. His administration has been criticized for the handlings of these files. It looks like from the outside in that they had something to hide, right? I mean, that's what one would think because they're, just being so sketchy about the binders to the influencers, and then saying, oh no, now all of a sudden he didn't or he wasn't red rummed. He definitely did this to himself. Okay, guys. I mean, that is a different day, a different topic. But I mean, how many pathologists have to say that the hyoid bone would not be fractured if he did that to himself? And that right there, that's medical certainty. That was sorry, I thought there was something behind me with my hair like that. But anyway, so if you just read these headlines here, it would seem like they are implicating Trump somehow. And Trump is very, guilty seeming when it comes to these emails. Well, there has been no misconduct alleged by Trump in these emails. There are no correspondences directly between Epstein and Trump. They refer to Trump a lot. And actually, there even comes a point when they're talking about Trump with a 20-year-old girl. And this is back in the 90s. So if anything, they're implicating him with women, but not underage women. And look, I mean, I think we can all say that I don't think Trump has made it a secret that he enjoys beautiful women. He's kind of pervy like that. Seems like he always has been. He's never denied knowing Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, how could he? There are pictures, there are, whatever. Yeah, and they had a relationship, and Jeffrey Epstein had access also to beautiful women. But I don't think, and I'm not talking about the underage. I'm talking about, the other parties he would throw and whatever, not the girls that he trafficked. But I guess I don't think that, and this is my opinion, I don't know if Trump would need Epstein to get access to women, right? Like he kind of did his own thing. He was his own little party boy back then. So in this article, I kind of just hammer home, like, yes, this is what was discussed, but the White House is coming out and saying, sure, yeah, he's talked about in these emails. Where's the wrongdoing? Where's the misconduct? I mean, they're not saying this, besides being a perv. But that's what I would say. You know, I'd be like, all right, where's the wrongdoing besides being a nasty perv? I don't know. So that's sort of what I'm trying to get across in this article is the fact that you got to read beyond the headlines, because there's so many people that just look at whatever MSNBC is putting out, CNN or Fox, you know, whatever, and they're not digging deeper. And I'm trying to get that across in my headline, although it probably won't be as clickable as other headlines, unfortunately. But yeah, so I have that coming out today, and I'm still refreshing the Pat Bev affidavit, because I really want to cover that today as well. I do want to get to Mangione. There have been some new filings in that case, and as I talk about this stuff out loud, I guess it is kind of interesting when you are sitting in court with people that are accused of horrible, horrible crimes, the vibe that you get. I know. I still am sick. I'm literally still sick. And that's why I'm like, yesterday, just side note, none of my kids wanted to go to church, but I went to church and I had to leave because I was coughing so hard, and it came out of nowhere. I was like, I actually felt fine, you know, waking up and getting up. And then all of a sudden I'm like, what is going on? I think it's just the freezing cold weather. It's so annoying. And it's always worse in the morning, right? It's still 9:48 a.m., so it's always worse. But yeah, it is interesting, the vibes that you get. And with Mangione, it sounds crazy. I just didn't get this. And I'm not trying to help the guy out. We saw the video. Again, innocent until proven guilty. I think he's guilty, but at this point, it's about mitigating, or in my opinion, it's about his lawyers just mitigating the sentencing, making sure he gets this fair trial, because he was this media spectacle. And I think that kind of, you know, inhibits his case. Really, I don't think that he has been treated fairly in that sense. However, again, I think that Pam Bondi, she's not my favorite. I think that it was a little weird when she's like, we'll be seeking the death penalty and da-da-da. And I'm just kind of like, okay, he's just not, to me, it's kind of like, he's not the one that I would really feel great about putting to death. I mean, he really seems like a very troubled person. Now, allegedly, he did take away somebody's father and somebody's husband, which is, you know, you can't take the law into your own hands unless, sorry, I'm not even going to say it. Well, I shouldn't say it. You should never take the law into your own hands. Sometimes I think jail is worth it if somebody would touch your kid. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not promoting violence at all whatsoever. But yes, if someone touches my kid, jail might be worth it. Kidding. But yeah, so it's kind of just like, I didn't feel great about her saying, yes, we're seeking the death penalty and da-da-da-da-da. Didn't get this vibe in court that he would jump over, you know, the gallery seats and choke me out and kill me. However, being in Oklahoma with these alleged murderers, one of them convicted at this point because she took a plea deal, that gave me chills and it gave me nightmares. And I did not sleep for literally a month. I'm telling you, there is a huge difference. And I don't sit here and act like I'm this like great, you know, oh, I'm such a good judge of character. I can tell things about people right upon meeting them. I don't pretend to be like that, but there is something about it in when you're in the courtroom and you just get this feeling. And with Diddy, you know, I don't know what I felt. I honestly don't know what I felt. I think that with the Diddy trial, there is a part of you where when he has his family there every single day and they're crying, you feel bad. But then on the other hand, when someone like Cassie was on the stand, all of that went away. I didn't really feel bad. Like I didn't feel anything. I just felt for her. You know, I didn't get the sense as much when Jane was on the stand. I feel horrible saying that because I'm not saying I didn't believe her. I believe her, whatever. I just didn't get the same genuine feeling that I got with Cassie. So yeah, but that's just me. So anyway, yeah, back to why we were doing this stream in the first place, just to, go back to Antonio Brown. That was one of the fastest arraignments I have ever witnessed. But again, I think the one in New Jersey was probably a little bit more interesting because that's where they acknowledge the fact that, the charge could be elevated because they are claiming that a firearm was discharged, and that adds more time to the sentence. So again, Antonio Brown, he will not be back in court until December 22nd. And when I say he won't be back in court, I mean his lawyers, because his lawyers even asked, is it okay that he skips? Oh, I realize I still have the Jeffrey Epstein banner. Oh, let's go back to this. His lawyer asked, is it okay if he skips? Judge was totally cool with it, said yes. What is her name? Let's get her name, by the way, because she was great. She was like really, really easygoing. Oh my gosh. Sorry, my kid's teacher just said they have 8 students out today and 3 more in the nurse. Or at the nurse's office. That's insane. Oh my gosh. We are not going to do a lot of curriculum today. Hope he feels better. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. There is like this family, or not family, it's like a second grade family WhatsApp chat. And I did see a lot of the parents were saying that their kids had, because his fever was 103 at one point, and he doesn't have COVID. He doesn't have strep. So it's just weird. I'm like, what is going on? And that's what a bunch of the parents said. But what is going around? That's insane. That's 11 kids that are out in the class, and there's 30 kids in his class. Also, it's my kid's first year at the public school by us, so I'm just getting used to the crazy illnesses that go through the public school system. So before, my kids were in a smaller class at a private school, and yeah, it's New York City. It's really not doable to pay for 2 kids in private school. Wild. I mean, wild. However, we did not get sick as much as we do now. So I will say that was the one upside, because there was like 13 kids in the class. Now we're like, eh. But yeah. So hold on. I wanted to get the judge's name before I saw that email from my kid's teacher. Oh, wow. She wrote an email too to all the families. That's so crazy. Oh my goodness. Okay. So the judge, just so I can maybe possibly look her up later, Gonzalez Marquez. Yeah. I don't know if she has done any big trials or whatever. Not sure. But I'll look into her. So yeah, guys, well, this was fun. I like doing this. Maybe I will talk to the editors at LA Mag, even though there's only, let's see, max 14 people, I think, at one point. I still really enjoy this. I think I should do this all the time. I'm kind of into it. I think that I wonder if I should do this instead of the recorded daily pod. I don't know. What do you guys think? You can leave comments on the video after it posts or whatever. I'm curious. I feel like this was really fun, and we covered a lot of topics, so we could kind of go through that every morning. I mean, I don't know. That's just me. That's just an idea. We could do this at like 9 o'clock every day, either for 30 to 45 minutes, for an hour, whatever. Yeah. After I close this out, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think, because again, I would love to keep doing this and get a schedule going. But please, if you don't already, like and subscribe to LA Magazine, to this YouTube. You'll get the alerts. Go to lamag.com later. You can see my articles. I'll do a recap of Antonio Brown. It'll be a short one, clearly. Hopefully we'll have some information on Pat Bev today and what's going on there. I don't know. I could see his case going to a grand jury. I really could. And then next Monday, we actually have Chauncey Billups in court, as well as Terry Rozier in the Eastern District. So I'm going to go to that. I know it's going to be a madhouse. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so crazy. And you know what sucks is that it's really cold out, and it's so basically these guys, they're obviously not being detained. So the goal is to get a picture of them coming into court, right? That's the goal, because after court, it's so annoying to wait outside for them. Last week, I mean, these guys in the MLB, they were getting equipped with location monitoring services. So they didn't come out for an hour, and it was freezing, like so cold. I mean, I don't know who Chauncey's going in front of, but there is a judge in the Eastern District, Joseph Maritolo. I mean, so we have to like see other cases before the ones that we're there for. Oh, good, Anastasia. I'm glad. I'm like, it's over and now I'm still talking. But yeah, we have to, when we go there, we see other cases before ours. And so I noticed that on like 2 other cases, this judge, when the government didn't, they didn't ask for any location monitoring for the defendant in this release package, the judge is like, I think like given the crimes and given that he has like this one guy had a girlfriend in Korea, but he had never gone to Korea except for when he was a baby. The fact that he had a girlfriend there, the judge is like, yeah, I think we need to do location monitoring services. And I was like, really? Because that means you get an ankle monitor, and it's not always an ankle monitor, but at the Eastern District it is. But it means that any time you want to leave the house, you have to let pretrial services know, which is, it's crazy. So the judge did that for this random guy. And then I watched him do it for the 2 MLB players as well. And I thought that was super weird because like they handed over their passports, and again, the government was not asking for any type of location monitoring services. So the weirdo in me, I was like, is there like a private company that the federal courts use for these location monitoring services that, he would have some kind of stake in? But no, they use, it's a federal system. It's not a private system. But I couldn't help be like, why is this guy so obsessed? Why is this judge so obsessed with location monitoring? I was like, and, waiting outside there, I remember watching the other guy, the Korean guy, his lawyer, come down after we had already waited for like 30 minutes. And I was like, oh my gosh, this means that Emmanuel Class A hasn't even gotten his, his GPS on yet. I was like, oh my God. So we're going to be here at least another hour. Yeah, Dizzy, that's what I was wondering. I was like, is there some kind of like, I don't know, but I don't think so because it's a federal system. But it was definitely weird. So anyway, if I do figure something out, or maybe my husband can come home or something, I will go to the Maniac Murder Cult plea, I guess. What do you call that? Plea out? I don't even know. I will go to that, but we'll see. I'm very interested, but I don't know. My kids need to get better. So yeah. Anyway, thanks guys for being here. I really appreciate it. This was so much fun. And I you know what? I'm going to do another one this week. I'm going to figure it out, do another one. Oh, because I think Mark Sanchez has a hearing this week, so I can stream that. So yeah, we'll see. All right. Thanks everyone. I'll see you later. Okay. Everyone have a great day.